They told us Sunfire was dead. They told us Aegon was fleeing to Essos. And they gave us yet another unhinged dream sequence at Harrenhal. Episode 7 of House of the Dragon Season 3, titled The Dragon in Winter, just delivered wildly chaotic penultimate episode in Westeros history. From prophetic White Walker's vision to betrayal at Tumbleton, and one of the single best returns of Dragon we have seen all series. A lot we have to unpack before the massive season finale next week. So grab your wine, hit the subscribe button, and let's deep dive into every detail and theory I have related to episode 7 of season 3 of House of the Dragon. Chapter 1, Helena's Vision and Rhaenyra's Obsession. We open the episode inside mind of Helena Targaryen. Pia 7 gives a stunning performance, but what she sees is deeply unsettling. Helena experiences three distinct visions. Her third child being taken away by Rhaenyra's Queensguard, riding Dreamfire and raining fire upon a mob, storming on Dragon Pit, snow and cold winds storming over farmyard with her children, a direct nod to Long Night and White Walkers. When Helena wakes up, she isn't met with comfort. She is confronted by Rhaenyra, who is practically interrogating her. Rhaenyra demands to see if her visions reveal the movement of Ormond Hightower or the Winter Wolves. Notice how Rhaenyra has fallen into paranoia here. She has 6 dragons under her command, yet she is aggressively grab her gentle half-sister's arm, demanding spiritual validation that she is meant to rule. Helena recoils and delivers a chilling truth. Dragons change a person. Rhaenyra can deny all she wants, but her obsession is clearly turning her into something unrecognizable. Chapter 2, Harrenhal's Madness. Alright, let's address the most bizarre storyline of the season, Harrenhal. Aemond is training with Blackfire when Alicent appears, and well, it gets very intimate very quickly. Thankfully, before viewers lose their mind, it's revealed to be a magical illusion created by Alice Rivers. The real Alicent arrives with Sir Adrian Redford, whom Aemond immediately executes to protect Harrenhal's secret, including Dreamfire's hidden dragon eggs. What follows was the awkwardest family dinner in Westeros history. Aemond announces his plan to crown Elise as his queen at Harrenhal, leading to Alicent's immortal lines. I still don't understand who this woman is. When Alicent realizes Aemond is beyond saving, and especially after he finally confesses to intentionally burning Aegon at Rooksred, she makes a desperate move. She attempts to poison Aemond with Godswood berries. Alicent flees, leaving Aemond stumbling into Ally's room, collapsing at her feet just as Ally drops a single line, "Idiot." While actor gave it 100%, this plotline feels like it's reading water. Harrenhal has become a narrative trap for both Daemon in season 2 and Aemond in season 3. But it sets up Alicent's full departure and leaves Aemond vulnerable right before the finale. Chapter 3, Aegon's Last Stand and Sunfire Rising. Now let's talk about the undisputed peak of the episode, Aegon Targaryen. Aegon, Larry Strong, Tyrion Lannister are cut off near Maidenpool by Lord Mouton's forces. Mouton's men are hunting Tyrion to extract the location of royal treasure. Trapped with nowhere to run, Aegon decides he's done hiding. In a surprising moment, Aegon releases Larys and Tyrion from their service. He refuses to die a forgotten fugitive in Essos. He wants to die as king fighting near his dragon. Larry gives Aegon a beautiful send off, promising even if he cannot fight, he will make sure Aegon's last stand is immortalized in history and songs. And then a moment comes we have been waiting all season. Just as Mouton soldier close in on Aegon, Sunfire returns. Though dead at Rook's Rest for months, the golden dragon emerges from woods. His face is scarred and deformed, mirroring Aegon's own injuries, but he's alive, loyal, and ready to protect his rider. Sunfire unleashes devastating Dracarys Stannis roasting the ambushers alive. It's an incredible thematic mirror, true broken, battered survivor together standing against impossible odds. Chapter 4, Tumbleton's betrayal and dragon skirmish. While Aegon claimed his glory, chaos erupts elsewhere in Westeros. Ormond Hightower's brutality. Ormond captures Lord Corlys Velaryon, cut off his fingers and mail it to Alan of Yule. He then manipulates Ulf the White, who is furious after getting beaten by Daemon, promising Ulf the control of Driftmark if he turns cold. Ulf accepts, setting up the disaster betrayal at Tumbleton we know from Fire and Blood. The dragon skirmish. Rhaena's time hiding in cave is finally over. She takes to the skies on Sheep Stealer, leading to a tense mid-air clash between Sheep Stealer, Syrax, Carassius, and Silverwing. While no dragon dies in the clash, it establishes Sheep Stealers as wild, untamed powerhouse. Verdict and season finale prediction. Episode 7 was a mixed bag of pacing at Harrenhal and sheer hype at Rook's Rest, but it perfectly positions voting for episode 8. Sunflower and Aegon are reuniting to reclaim their place in the war. Ulf's treason is primed to explode at Tumbleton. Aemond is poisoned and weakened at Harrenhal. Rhaenyra is spiraling into paranoia while her dragon riders fracture from within. What do you think about Sunfire's dramatic return? How do you feel about Aemond's Harrenhal storyline? Drop your theories in comment section. Don't forget to like, share and hit the subscribe button so that you get the notification when we break down season finale of House of the Dragon next week. Until then, next week, Valor Morghulis.